So in this case, I believe that the court pointed to several different reasons for taking the objective approach. One thing they talked about is absent fraud, duress, or mutual mistake, and obviously in this case it was a singular party's mistake, that if they signed it, that they're bound by law, that the only intent of the parties to a contract which is essential is an intent to say the words and do the acts which constitute their manifestation of assent, and that they wanted to test, or they thought that the test should be what a reasonable person in the positions of the parties have thought it meant. And they did point a lot to the fact that the original specs that the brothers presented were 3 pages long, and the specs that kept being referred to in the contract that they signed said pages 1 through 5. And so a reasonable person would have looked at that and said, this is obviously different than what we signed before, or what we presented before. They also talked about how they had been builders for many, many years, and so a person in their position with their experience, should have known what they were signing, should have read over it, and that, they sent it to the lender, and I think sent it back, and they even signed on the back of each page. And so just saying that you haven't read it, or that you thought it was one thing and another, doesn't matter, because you signed it and you agreed to it essentially.